All right, greetings everybody. It is I, Umber Rays, from the Shadows no less, because somebody asked, hey Umber, why are you recording in the dark? Do you not have money for electricity? I mean, views have been a little low lately, but no, that's not particularly it. It's kind of power saving and it keeps the heat down, and I don't really need it because I can see perfectly. Anyway, hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about some global news, we're going to be talking about some JP news, and obviously JP is going to be having a heavier costed week than global, so let's get right into it. Talking about this week, that is. So first off, Porcelain Tower returns for JP, and globalers should expect it relatively in the future. This time around we are looking at the water special part of the tower, which will allow the water elemental ring to be upgraded to its +1 version. No clue if it'll be worth it, but we'll find out soon enough. Second off, yeah, Porcelain Tower coming back, regular Porcelain Tower, so if you haven't finished it, you can do that. All right, and we're going to skip this just for a second because I do want to get a little bit of the less dynamite news out. So first off, we have some upgrades, starting off with Master Ability 2s. First off for Alaya, regular shooty Alaya, and secondly, Urel. Both of these characters will be getting their Master Quest 2s. I think we are pretty much at the end of all the Master Quest 2s, so kind of cool that we finally have basically gotten there. I guess we're still doing like somewhat newer units, but it feels like it's winding down. Also, we will talk about, let me just see here, I don't think I have to go back in. Here it is. We'll talk about this. So the guild raid is coming up for JP. It's been a little while since we've seen this come around just because it's just been a while. So this time we're looking at Fenrir for ice, White Dragon for light, Dark Ramu for lightning, Sheraton for earth, and Dark Ifrit for fire. Fenrir, Sheraton, and Dark Ifrit are able to be slowed, whereas White Dragon and Dark Ramu can be CT downed and agility downed. So please prepare appropriately. So Dark Ramu, obviously you want earth. White Dragon, you're going to want dark. For Sheraton, you're going to want wind. For Fenrir, fire. And last but not least, Ifrit is water for the most new water character. Initial AP up of 60%, reaction block rate of 100%, and damage limit up. Effective debuff is slow, so yeah, there you go. Probably going to be a series of characters, and figuring out which element you really want to go for will be, of course, based on what your account has. But now that that's all done, let's talk about the thing I kind of don't want to talk about, which is the Dark Siren card, who is a new 90 cost VC. And unfortunately, this is one of those ones that I think quite a few people are going to want to get their hands on. Limited to earth and water attributes, so earth and water mains are going to like this VC a lot. For the granted effect, bestowed effect if you will, on the specific unit, range attack resistance up, critical evasion, and evasion down. So a little bit of a trade-off, having some range attack resistance and critical avoidance, but totally worth it if you're, well, I don't know, a defensive unit. Maybe somebody could think of one. As for the party ability, this is the big one. So activating the maximum level on the card will give you strike resistance, which is more pertinent than you think right now for high tier players, because Bridal Alaya is one of the most dangerous characters. But we also have, for the party ability, agility up and human killer up for physical attacks. Now, we don't know what Dark Siren is going to look like, although pretty safe to assume she will be a water physical slash based Esper, if I had to guess. And just that alone will probably make this VC combo incredibly worth it. Very powerful for an extra source of agility on a 90 cost VC with human killer. and strike resistance, and you're just getting a bunch of other resistances too. Looks to be quite the combo, and would be lying if I said this isn't one of the 90 cost VCs that I am specifically looking for, because this is looking like, yeah, it's going to be really, really good. Let me just see. So yeah, with that, I'm going to actually take a moment here and wrap up a little bit of talking about something from last week, which is new Glassy and the new VC. I know that some JP players have come out saying that this is a character who's just not worth it. I wholly disagree. I think that she is an incredibly powerful tank for an element that was primarily relying on Celeste before. So if you have Celeste and now Glassy, well, you're good against both physical and magical quite nicely. Maybe even you could do a combo. And I would say that the combination of her plus Barris plus an ice unit or a magical unit of some kind is very, 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 very powerful. I am gotten my Glassy up to 140 already because I'm just that much of a believer that she is actually really insanely good. And here you can kind of see a little bit more of what my stats are, even with TMR runes. So in a full party, of course, 14,000 HP, 1400 attack still, 70 defense, 8 spirit, 96 for agility, which I think is a little low, even with agility runes, but gonna do right. Find more agility. But also 45 single target resistance and 39 AoE resistance in combination with her kit is just very, 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 very survivable unit. And I would just like to point out that my elemental and attack-based resistances are generally just pretty strong against multiple different types, especially with the debuff resistance. And that brings me to wrapping up about the VC. While last week I said that this VC didn't initially impress me so much, it did occur, especially through talking to other people, that this is one of the very few sources that water characters, especially quite a few very relevant water characters, have access to AoE resistance. So my tune has kind of changed on this VC. Overall, I still think that it's not an elemental VC, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but just the debuff resistance and everything like that makes it for a very, very strong PvP VC, and therefore I highly recommend it, almost as much as I recommend Dark Siren for any water users out there. But at the end of the day, I don't think that Glassy is going to be as like a universal tank. I think that with the VCs that we're looking at, she will be very much in the places where you think, with earth, with water, and with ice. And that's not a bad thing, but it's definitely not for everybody out there. And for people who are looking for other ones, Wrath or Diallo, depending on what element you truly main, will change exactly who you are thinking of upgrading. All right. So I think that's it. I think I've talked about that enough. So let's just talk about the last thing. Global. Now, globalers. As my point still stands that in general, you should not be spending, you should not be doing really much, and you should make them sweat on the, well, I guess we now have the worldwide management team. But anyway, taking a look at you guys this week, it's looking pretty basic kind of thing, although I do see a 28-day login for Visiore. I don't think that's probably going to cut it for being enough for catching up, but hey, it's at least something, and you guys can definitely strike for more. I want to talk about the VC that is coming out this week, and voiced that a little bit because it's been packing and moving and everything like that. But talking about this new VC, the General of the Abyssal Horde Greater Demon. I love this VC. This VC is a top tier VC, an absolutely awesome tank VC, and a really just generally super good like vision card overall, for obviously for Wrath and Team Dark. But I think this is really nice going forward, and it is a permanent one, so you don't have to stress too much about it if you're resource starved. You'll eventually get this thing and get a great little tank Esper to it. But I do want to shout out that I really like this VC. I like the Esper that comes off of it. Just a great combination, but obviously incredibly powerful with Wrath and with Team Dark. So there you go. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Obviously, this is kind of the end of a rather well, it's the end of an era, right? Like, this is going to be one of the last few videos that I record here. I'm going to be like streaming my last night, probably tonight or tomorrow, depending on how exhausted I am. And then it's just waiting for the new apartment, and we'll be streaming and making videos from there very shortly. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. With the move, the last thing I will say is that there may be a disruption. Kind of weird to say, but there may be a disruption of service in such that for people who are looking for videos from me and whatnot, it's going to be a little bit different or difficult for me until at least next Tuesday to really do a lot of, or any recording or any streaming in a huge sense. So please keep that in mind. So thank you so much. See you later.